From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here for your evening forecast. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. You know, we've got the next round of heavy rain and snow that arrives tomorrow. This is going to be kind of that last push before we start to see a bit of that break here, because Friday, quite honestly, is not looking very active. Maybe some snow in some of the higher elevations, but the coast, especially the valley, most likely looking at fairly dry conditions for your Friday. But with that rain coming tomorrow, we are going to be looking at flooding impacts again. We're going to kind of see a lot of the rivers, creeks, and streams get a little bit of relief today, and they'll start to lower. But as that rain comes in, especially late in the day, Thursday night, Friday, we're going to start to see those begin to rise again because of the heavy rainfall we expect. Now, snow levels are expected to be fairly low because we've got some colder air that's moving in. It's already started to move in, and that's really going to help to lower those snow levels on average between 1,000 and 2,000 feet. So that does mean places like Weaverville, Hayfork, for example, in Trinity County. Now, it will be mainly dry this weekend into early next week, and I say mainly dry because there are a few spots on Saturday that may see some light shower activity and maybe some snow in some of the higher elevations. But taking a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for your February 5th. All right, let's take a look at for tonight. And what we're looking at here, another chilly night, but with a little bit more cloud cover, not quite as cold as it was this morning. But I do expect mid to upper 30s in the valley, mainly dry, just some clouds moving in, but cold. You've got clearing skies here. That's going to make for a very cold start to the day for places like Lassen Park, Chester, about 17, and then of course in the 20s out towards Siskiyou County, and in the mid 30s for the coast, but still looking at some showers out there. So as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning, this is when we start to see some of the showers already begin to move in. Most of Northern California will either be looking at some showers, snow in the mountains, and it looks like Modoc County may have to hold off a little bit longer before you start seeing it. So this is the big picture. Low pressure spinning, colder air associated with it. It's going to tap into this moisture right here. This is a storm system. It's got plenty of moisture, but this storm, this cold storm, is going to tap into that moisture, and that's the next source of moisture for that heavy rain and heavy snow. All right, so we look at futurecast for tonight and through the day tomorrow, and there you can see it's going to kind of start to taper off. Not a lot of activity. Still some clouds, clearing though off to the east. Let's take you into Thursday morning. We're starting to see some of those showers begin to move in. This is kind of the first beginning phases of that moisture moving in, so nothing terribly heavy at this point. Snow levels around 1,500 to 2,500 feet. Let's take you through the morning hours here. Here's midday on Thursday. There's that steady rain for the valley. We've got snow. Now, it looks like we may start to see some of that warmer, moist air mix out some of the colder air. So we may be looking at more of a mix down to about, say, around Hayfork and Weaverville. And of course, Hoopa may be seeing a little bit of a mix as well. But we're still seeing that steady rain for the valley. We're seeing some of the showers. Now, you can see another push right here of more moisture. You see how it kind of comes on in. It's kind of that spin with that area of low pressure. Still some heavy rain tomorrow evening, that is Thursday evening. Now, the thing is, the colder air is still there, right? But what's happening is sometimes when you start to see, even if it's starting off as rain, sometimes what can happen is the snow is so heavy that it doesn't have time to melt by the time it reaches the ground. And sometimes it also helps to draw in and bring down some of that colder air. So as a result, we may see those snow levels drop again by 5 p.m. on Thursday. Hayfork and places like Weaverville seeing that potential for snow. But heavy rainfall for the coast, heavy rainfall in parts of the valley, and of course snow. And don't forget about the fact that we'll be dealing with some chain requirements most likely, and travel is not going to be recommended through the day on Thursday due to that snow. Now, 10 p.m. Thursday, we're still looking at a lot of activity. We could even see an isolated thunderstorm. Snow levels beginning to rise a little bit as we go into Thursday night into your Friday. But Friday, things do start to quiet down, which we'll take a closer look at that in your deeper dive forecast. Temperatures in the mid 40s here for tonight, it looks like tonight, right? But it's actually for your Thursday. your daytime highs are in the 40s, right? Temperatures in the 30s and really mainly 30s for the higher elevations, fairly cold day. And then for the coast, you're looking at temperatures somewhere in the mid to upper 40s. A lot of times when you see these cold temperatures, it looks like a temperature for overnight, but it's going to be fairly cool for your day on Thursday. And there you can, of course, see those highs for the valley, temperatures mid to upper 40s. That rain will be heavy. It's going to be steady rain through the day as well. Now on Friday, what we're looking at here is a few maybe leftover showers. And quite honestly, as you're waking up tomorrow morning and watching my latest forecast, I may even take out the raindrops for Friday. I think most of it's going to be tomorrow. And then the weekend looks dry for Monday, Tuesday, another round of rain possibly by the middle of next week. Now for the coast, we may still see some leftover showers on Saturday. Also the case for the inland areas and also in Trinity County, but otherwise we're dry through most of the weekend, dry Monday, Tuesday, and then of course those showers coming in Wednesday. For Siskiyou, Modoc, and the eastern mountains, we've got those snow levels fairly low. Maybe some leftover snow flurries Saturday morning. Otherwise, dry through the weekend, dry through Monday and Tuesday. And then, of course, more wet weather coming into Wednesday of next week. All right, that's Krueger's QuickCast. Here's a look at the free Weather NorCal app. If you don't have it already, all you got to do is go to your phone, search for Weather NorCal in your app store, download the app for free. Everything I have to offer on Weather NorCal is available on the phone. And there's a lot that we offer here at Weather NorCal. So I highly recommend you check it out. I always say check it out, play around with it, and if you don't like it, you can take it off your phone. All right, so here's the big picture. Let's go into the deeper dive. Let's really get into this here. So this is the area of low pressure. See the speckled clouds? That's the colder air. You see these little vortexes, we call them. They're kind of spinning around the area of low pressure. You can see one right here. There's another one right here. But another thing that we got to watch is this right here. This is another storm system, but it's a warmer storm. So the moisture associated with it is also warm. So when you combine the colder air, the warm, moist air, you're talking heavy snowfall in the higher elevations, and not to mention, of course, those lower snow levels too, and heavy rain in the lower elevations. Now, as a result, yes, we are seeing a break, right? You see how we're seeing the rivers begin to show signs of receding. That's good as we go tonight and tomorrow morning. But the problem is, as we start to see it rain again on Thursday, we're going to see another increase. Now, it looks like Red Bluff Diversion Dam should stay below the flood stage after this next batch of rain. However, Tehama Bridge, I think you may be close. You could reach that minor flood stage once again with Thursday's rain before dropping again after that. How about Vina-Woodson Bridge? Most likely staying below the flood stage, but it is getting closer as we go into Thursday. We're probably going to keep it, at least the Ord Ferry, Sacramento River, probably keeping it around that flood stage or just above that. And then after that rain on Thursday and going into Friday, Saturday, it will start to recede after that. All right, take a look also at the flood warning for Pitt River near Canby. That's until Saturday, 1 p.m. Now, the reason being is we'll take a look at the river stages for that, and you can see still in that major category, it's going to slowly drop. You can just kind of see that gradual drop. It's really not until around Friday morning that we'll see it drop below that flood stage, and we'll continue to see that dropping for the rest of the weekend and into next week. By the way, for those of you that live near Eel River, it has been obviously an area of concern here over the last day or so, but it is expected to recede here really starting the rest of tonight and into tomorrow. So with that rain on Thursday, tomorrow, the best chances for flooding will be in the valley. Also looks like the potential for some flooding around Eureka as well. We were looking at Eel River. Eel River may also see a bit of an increase with some of that heavier rainfall as well. So we got to watch once again for that flood potential, and mudslides, debris flows are certainly going to be a concern and issue as well. So let's take a look at Futurecast through midnight tonight. As you can see, we're just not seeing much activity. I think everyone, for the most part, is going to see a break, especially for the Valley, especially for Siskiyou, Modoc, Lassen, and Plumas counties, right? But this is the next batch of rain, and we're beginning to see that moisture begin to move in by tomorrow morning. So at 8 a.m., here you can see we're seeing the snow in the mountains, we're seeing the rain in the valley. Nothing terribly heavy at this point, but it will pick up in intensity. As we take into midday tomorrow, there again is that heavier rainfall. Once again, I think some of that warmer, that cooler air may mix out. We'll see those snow levels between 1,500, 2,500 feet. That means there's a chance that, say, Hayfork, Weaverville may be looking at more of a mix or rain, but eventually that is going to change. And by the way, we're going to begin to see more chain requirements in the higher elevations, maybe Highway 299 West, Highway 36, maybe on I-5 as well. So if you have to travel tomorrow, do note that you're probably going to run into delays, thanks to, of course, chain requirements. Now, as we start to see another batch of moisture come in, heavier rain, heavier snow, that could lower those snow levels again down to about 1,000 to 2,000 feet, maybe a better chance for some of that snow. Now, look how heavy. See the darker shades of blue? That's heavy snow. So this is when we start to see that potential for heavy snow in Trinity County and really everywhere else. It doesn't seem to be quite as heavy off to the east here, but we are seeing some of that heavy snow in many of the mountain locations, especially in Trinity County, Siskiyou County, northern Shasta County. So places like Mount Shasta City could see some decent snow, and even Bernie seeing a very good chance for some heavy snow out of this as well. But Susanville, Portola, for example, Ayden, and Alturas, probably not as heavy for you. All right, now you can see a bit of that spin of low pressure. It's all coming in from the south-southwest. This is Thursday night, 11 o'clock. Still the snow levels between 1,000 and 2,000 feet. We're beginning to see more of a mix, probably closer to the Hayfork and Weaverville area. Heavy rainfall for the valley, and there you can kind of see it starting to break apart off to the east here, and some showers for the coast. Now, here it is, Friday morning. You see how it's all starting to break up. So here's 6 a.m. Friday morning. Look at the valley. It's actually clearing out. We've got snow flurries in the higher elevations. We'll continue to probably see a lot of chain requirements Thursday night, Friday morning, and of course some of the showers out along the coast. But look how quickly it dissipates. By midday, most of it's gone. We're looking at mainly dry conditions even for the mountains, just a few stray flurries here and there. Then by Friday night, it's done with. We're done with it. But check this out. Here's Friday night, 10 p.m. Remember I've been talking about this the last few days actually, a weak disturbance that may clip Northern California come Saturday morning. So places along the coast Saturday morning could see a chance for a shower or two. We may even see a few flurries for places like Siskiyou County and Trinity County, as we're still seeing some of that colder air filtering in, although snow levels may be just a tad higher for your Saturday morning. All right, that's a lot to take in. Of course, taking a look at the forecast rain totals through Friday night, I do expect to see probably about an inch, give or take, for the valley, and about the same here for the coast, although maybe a little bit less out towards Del Norte County, and you can see less up to the north. But of course, now we're talking, when we're looking at these rainfall totals for the higher elevations, that's when you melt down that snow, right? All right, so here's what we've got. There's the warmer storm system. There's the cold storm system. Warm and cold can make heavy snow and of course heavy rainfall as well. But there's that area of low pressure, and there it is, all that snow, the Sierra getting dumped on. We're going to see a heavy snow, of course, we saw that on Futurecast, and of course that rain. So that's what it kind of looks like with the overall setup, right? Then you can see this all pushes off to the east, a little bit of leftover moisture on Friday. There's that weak system coming in Saturday morning. Then we're dry. We're dry through the rest of the weekend. We're dry for Monday, Tuesday, but wouldn't you know, we've got more rain in the forecast. And I think that's going to be a welcome sight at that point. There's next Wednesday, right? We're seeing that rain and, of course, the snow. I think that'll be a welcome sight because we're going to get some relief. We're going to be able to recover from all the rain that we've seen, and then we've got more rain. And, of course, looks like more coming in behind that, coming in from the west. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like we've got more rain in the forecast. All right, so these are some of the numbers that I've kind of generated here looking at different forecast models, and I think some of the heaviest snowfall, as I mentioned, will be in parts of like Mount Shasta, parts of Trinity County can see some of the heavier snow, even out towards Etna, about 6 to 9 inches. Bernie, I think you could see 8 to 12 inches possibly here, and then of course you head to the east here. As I mentioned, we're seeing that the snow doesn't look to be quite as heavy off places like Modoc County and eastern Lassen and parts of Plumas County as well. Now, places like Hoopa, for example, you might see some light snow, and maybe even out towards Willow Creek, for example, Gas Key. But overall, I think most of it's going to be at least 1,000 feet. As you start getting below that, it might be a little hard pressed to see some of that. So that's through Friday night. How about the ski park? All right, of course, we've been looking at a lot of snow, right? And we got over 2 feet of snow here through Friday night for the base and, of course, the summit of the ski park. Looks like those wave heights are going to start to drop for Thursday afternoon and Friday. Well, they're going to start to increase a little bit before they start to drop again. So overall, looks like conditions should be okay for those of you that need to be on those small boats. All right, so for tonight, as mentioned, looking at mainly dry conditions to start the night, but by tomorrow morning, we will start to see some of those showers begin to kick in. Cold off to the east, not as cold, but still cool nonetheless, but mainly above freezing for many of the valley locations and for the coast. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures mainly in the 40s tomorrow. Snow levels on average between 1,500 and 2,000 feet for your Thursday and Friday, and then drying out for the most part this weekend, although maybe a stray shower for parts of, especially the first half of the day on Saturday. For the coast, maybe a stray shower Saturday morning, drying out by Saturday afternoon, Sunday, dry through next Tuesday, and then of course more rain by next Wednesday. And that's pretty much the same story here for anywhere to the north and northwest. There you can see out towards Klamath, about 46 for your daytime high on Thursday, 47 in Orleans. How about Siskiyou County? Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, even some low 40s. Again, I got snow levels on Saturday because there could be a stray flurry Saturday morning, but by Saturday afternoon, Sunday, it's dry through Tuesday, and then more wet weather on Wednesday. For Modoc County, it's mainly just going to be Thursday and Friday we see the chance for snow, but then we're looking at drier conditions starting Saturday, lasting through Tuesday with more snow by next Wednesday. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, also dry by Saturday and Sunday through next Tuesday with more snow next Wednesday. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. Those temperatures are going to be in the mid 40s, 46 degrees for Chico, 48 degrees for Oroville, and 46 degrees for Gridley. Here's your 7-day outlook for Chico. Quite cool, actually, only reaching the upper 40s for your daytime highs. Now, I've got some raindrops in there for Friday. There's a chance that as you're watching tomorrow morning's forecast, I may take those raindrops out of Friday's forecast. I mean, it just does not look like there's much activity. And then, of course, dry for the weekend, dry for Monday, Tuesday, and those showers returning by next Wednesday. Let's take you up to the north. There you can see the city of Shasta Lake, about 45, as well as Bella Vista, 47 degrees for Anderson, and 41 out towards Whiskeytown. Dry for the weekend, dry for Monday, Tuesday, and of course, you'll see that as we take a look at our 7-day forecast for Redding. And just like Chico, I think there's a chance I may be taking out the rain on Friday. So the chances are looking very slim, but heavy rainfall tomorrow. And then it looks like it's dry for the weekend, dry for Monday and Tuesday, and more showers by next Wednesday. That is your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m. Have a great night.
Wiggly mouth.
Woggy mouth.
No.
Painting.
Wiggy mouth.
It's Woogie Mouth Painting.
It's Walgamuth Painting, and yes, we'll paint anything.